that's where courses are going to put their money into the greens. So if they've got a lot of money invested in those greens, you can expect usually a pretty high bill for going out and playing these days. I mean, I think eventually, you know, in the future, I don't know if I'll see it, but I think eventually what they'll do is they'll just start making artificial greens.
Yeah. Yeah, can you bring up our at before and after the ball one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know they always turn that off.
There you go. Getting better. Let's kind of do this for you for a visual. Right? Go. All right, put that ball right, put that right in front. Feel like you're gonna go down and get that.
So there, my what? Positive.
Okay, it's just a little shut on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, on this one I want you to try to focus on keeping that left arm a little straight for me, okay? There you go. Keep that width. Right. Fix that face angle a little bit, right? Good. There we go. Much better, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Feel like you're keeping your left arm straight on those?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I see on the videos, collapsing quite a bit. Okay. Okay. At least with the concept of you keeping your left arm straight, we're seeing that this face angle staying at around 2-ish.
Okay.
Right around 2-ish, where when I see that left arm really collapse, we start to get to about 5, maybe even 6 or so, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, you could play as long as your swing path was out, you know, 5 degrees, if that makes sense, right? But your path is really where we want it to be, you know, from what I see here, closer to 0, right? So making sure that we get this, you know, somewhat negative is good. We're gonna get that little draw right there, okay? But we're gonna be able to keep that thing on the planet if we keep that left arm straight. Once we start breaking that left arm, that face is gonna start closing on us for you. Now do me a little bit of a favor here, move it up ever so slightly in your setup a little bit. Looks like you're trying to get your chest back behind the ball. Let's kind of set with that chest almost. There you go, good. Left arm straight. Here we go. Here we go, now we're getting it. Felt like you swung to the inside a little bit there.
Yeah.
All right, face was open. Swiped it across the face there.
Yeah. Kind of what I felt like, yep.
Keep that left arm straight, right? Straightish. There you go. Good swing right there, Mike.
Yeah.
That was good contact right there. Good job.
That felt good, yeah.
Okay, that was a good one right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Starting to step on it now. So look at your trajectory with your irons though, with the 7-iron.
Yeah.
You got a good height going on right there, right? Your trajectory's doing pretty good right there. Precision, a little off, right? And that's because that club face is closing a little bit on us right there.
Okay.
But at least from what I'm seeing here, okay, that's a good one right there too. From what I'm seeing here, at least if we keep the concept or the idea of keeping that left arm straightish,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We start to control the face a little bit better, right? Your path has been pretty consistent this morning, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But once that left arm starts to break down quite a bit, you start to kind of throw it and that face starts to close as you start to throw it a little bit right there.
Yeah, because my last round or two, my irons have all been pulls.
Okay.
Well, what I perceive as a pull.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's left.
Yeah, and that's probably, not always, but if I were to say to you, that's probably going to be a strong indicator to you that your left arm's starting to collapse, right? We're starting to go into those old patterns again.
Okay.
Okay? So let's just kind of focus on that just for a few more minutes. Okay? And then I want to take a look face on and then down the line, okay? But just kind of let you kind of keep with that, 4 or 5 more swings here with that left arm straight, see what we're looking like, okay?
Yep.
Move it up in your setup just ever so slightly so you can really shift into that. Kind of flicky, scoopy. Okay. But look, your face angle, right? We're still keeping that.
Still two.
That's the main thing I'm trying to focus on right now. We'll get to that low point in just a sec. Sounded good.
Yeah, that one felt good.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the numbers we're looking for right there, partner.
Yeah.
Good job. There you go. It's 2 in a row right there. I like that. 2 good swings right there. Good job. take a look at it. Face was a little bit open, right?
Yeah.
Path came a little bit over the top, a little bit of some changing of the properties with the
That's kind
swing
of what
there a
it
little
felt
bit.
like, yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look. See. Okay. As far as the setup's looking pretty good. One thing that we did work on was shoring up that back foot,
Yeah.
right? Making sure that we have something to turn into and not allow that right hip to keep sliding on us a little bit. See how we're doing here. I'm liking the wrist hinge, partner. Really am.
Yeah, I'm still collapsing that.
Right.
Still collapsing that right arm. Because it's way behind me instead of being up and out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we got to get, the one thing I'd like to kind of see here just a little bit. Let's see if we can kind of break this on down a little bit better. Right, I'd like to kind of see when we get here, it's like the shoulders kind of freeze up a little bit and then you just kind of lift up the arms. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So your shoulder turn is done right here, right? You don't need to keep lifting your arms up to get back behind you.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Okay. So let's kind of, the big thing is, and let's kind of take a look at this because I videotaped one down the line here. All right. Let's see what that right elbow's doing. All right. So, you know, the big thing I don't see here is that when I look at it, that triangle that's up at
Yeah.
the top, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at all the good players of some sort, right? Some have it more than others,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That
forward.
triangle right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right? I don't see any of that right there.
Yeah.
That's because the elbows come out,
Yeah.
right, and allowed your arms to be underneath your shoulder plane here. Okay, it's really, really tough unless we're incredibly athletic and limber to get that to really kind of drop. Does that make sense? Because that's kind of the room where I'd want to start dropping that.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing we were working on last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see how the
Sure.
right? So you see how the elbow here will match the elbow over here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, it's right. So if I can get that arm structure up, that elbow a little bit, just a little bit closer to the side, pointing more down than out.
Yeah.
Right. We start to create that triangle, and then what happens as we swing through here, this starts to change as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead and set up for me real quick. So once again, doing good on the, yeah, right? So now when I look down here, right, I can start to see the elbows going along your side a little
Yeah.
bit here, not going out in the way. Left arm's,
Okay.
yeah. So it's really got to feel like it's out and away from you right here, right? Now if I just leave you right there and go ahead and swing down and through for me. Okay, once again. Uh-huh. Good. All right, let's see if we're, give me a couple practice swings there, and let's see if we're starting to create a little bit more of a better arm structure up the top. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this, right? So this is what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting that right elbow to point down a little bit. You're starting to get that structure with our arm. Look at your lead wrist here. It's getting a lot more flat, facing more of what the club face is doing now, right? One thing I would like to see in this video or photo is you see how that right knee is extended right there?
Yeah.
Keeping some flex in that, right? So that probably tells me that how you got to that position a little bit with the lower body is that you kind of did this. You slid a little bit,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So we've got to kind of figure out a way to kind of keep a little bit of some bend in that right knee a little bit and try to get that hip maybe a little bit further back, or just kind of focus on keeping that bend in that right knee a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Get your chin up just a little bit for me. There we go. There you go. Let's take a look down the line here. Okay, get those arms up a little bit more for me. There you go. Got it. One more. How does that feel as far as the motion goes right now?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good, more extended.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Able to come through a little easier.
Yeah, for you it should feel like it's a lot of short and wide
Yeah.
compared to getting back behind us, right? So it should feel almost like a half swing for us probably,
Yeah.
right? But you can see in the video that's
It's
not, right? So it's just a feel thing that we're trying to battle through a little bit. How about the right knee?
Well, for sure, I keep it a little bit more relaxed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and allows me to kind of plant just a little bit more, get a little bit more of that tension in there, you know.
Yeah,
spring.
absolutely. So you start to feel a little bit more of that ground pressure, right?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. All right, let's hit a few balls and see how we do here, okay? All right, keeping those arms up, right? Keeping a little flex in those knees. All right, left arm straight, arms up. Arms up. Get that triangle up at the top. Good swing right there, buddy. The thing that I'm kind of seeing here a little bit with the change now is your club path is a little bit more out to the right for us.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little bit more play with the face to kind of close it a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Your low point's significantly better now, though. Look at your low point, though.
Yeah, I like that. That one felt better. Yeah.
Good. Good. Right? Keeping that left arm straight, getting those arms up, feeling like we're swinging to the Himalayas. All right? Really swinging up. All right? See if we can close the face just a little bit sooner. Just a little bit. How do you feel like you did with your left arm there?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I tried to keep it out there, but
Okay.
I mean, it felt pretty good, but I always think I'm doing something until I see the video.
Right?
No, pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just swaying back.
Yeah, you can see those hips just kind of slide to the side, not really going back behind us, what we really kind of need, right?
Yeah.
Just slide together here. it's not the worst slide, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see a lot more distance getting between that line and your hip.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's just, I wouldn't say, I mean, it's sort of a slide, but it's kind of more like just, like the hips are kind of being lazy a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The big thing is that I don't see this, let's kind of focus on this knee right here. That knee's got to go back behind your foot. Does that make sense? So just kind of give me a swing here. Don't worry about the ball. Okay. Right? So feel your knee go back behind your foot there just a little bit. Does that make sense? I'm trying to get you to focus on something else than what we're trying to work on. Does that make sense? So we don't get lost in the sauce on that. Can you give me an idea or a sense? What does that feel like to you? When we try to get that knee back behind that foot just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it feels like I'm twisting a little bit more
Okay.
and planting, putting more pressure on this kind of, well, it's gripping here, but it's kind of putting pressure there.
Okay. Okay. Feeling like your foot's about to turn out?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Do that just a couple more times for me, please. Really focus on getting that knee back behind there. Just take a look and just see. Yeah. Let's watch that right hip now. All right, now you're getting more of that crease that we kind of talk about in that groin area right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I like that we're keeping that left arm straightish, right? Good. Just got to get that right elbow to stay down, not poking out on us, okay? All right, because what happens when that elbow stays out there like that, then it's kind of like, yeah. Right? If we can get that right elbow to drive down in front, then we're going to be able to keep the angle of your club. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But some good stuff there, right? We're keeping the left arm straight. Take a break for a sec. Keeping the left arm straight, right? We're starting to get to the point where I think, what I kind of see on video is that you kind of, when you do your backswing, this knee kind of stays frozen, and it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Right? You just kind of slide on into it a little bit. There's not really a turn. It's kind of like that, and that knee kind of stays there. We want to let that lead knee kind of drift back just a little bit. Something where if I got to the top, my left hand is going to touch about the top of my kneecap. If I kind of saw you, it'd be like this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense a little bit? Okay. And allowing that lead knee to get back behind our foot a little bit is going to allow that hip to turn back behind us and not go to the side. Does that make sense? Okay. And then the next big thing that we just really need to kind of focus on is that right elbow, keeping it down. All right, so go ahead, get up to the top for me. Good, good. And what we got to have that feeling is, as you come on down here, there you go. All right. Keeping that elbow in front. that lead knee go back behind. There you go. There you go. Better. Yeah, there you go. Just kind of work on that movement pattern for a sec, okay? Good. Seem like you got more to shift into as you go forward now, right? So it's not just so stagnant up on top. Now you're kind of moving just a little bit and moving through it a little bit. Good. Let that left knee drift back behind the foot. There you go. Good. 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 Give me two more and then you can have a drink real quick and then give me an idea of what you're feeling here. Give me a sense. How's that feel, big guy?
Well, it feels good.
Okay.
You know, just trying to focus, like you say, to, you know, keep the towel in between and don't let that elbow get way out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean there's some devices out there that will keep that elbow to your side a little bit. I think sometimes people get a little flat with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do understand the concept of making sure that if I keep your elbow in this position and you drive through, you're going to drive your elbow in front of your hip a little bit, right?
Yeah.
For you, you get over here like this and then it's just kind of, you know, this guy kind of takes over and it's kind of one of these things,
Yeah.
right? Instead of driving it down,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of more pushing down like this, and then as you kind of come through here, it's just trying to maintain as much energy and power as we can at the moment of strike, and then we kind of collapse and fall apart right there,
Yeah.
right? So making sure we get that right elbow in a good position is
And pull the bell.
right. Pull the bell, man. But the other thing that we're identifying today is definitely keeping that left arm structure straighter, right? And then the other thing is allowing those hips to turn correctly, which is going to, in everybody's case from what I see here, right, that right knee, or left knee, I'm sorry, just goes back behind the foot or the ankle just ever so slightly, or gets in line with the ankle,
Yeah.
right? We can see with you that it really just kind of bends out, not in. Right, and that's why I think we have that hip slide, is that we're trying to get this guy to move and this guy to stay, right? So it's just kind of like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions? Go ahead and hit a few here. Just kind of focus on that lead knee a little bit, okay? Okay. That one was nice right there. Maybe a little left, but
Yeah.
good stuff right there. Not really. There it is, carry. All right, there we go. Get a little idea of what we're doing there. Sure. Oh, who takes all these buttons? Alright, keeping that right arm straight, or left arm straight, alright, letting that lead knee drift back a little bit, shifting into that ball. Here we go.
Yeah, that doesn't feel all that good. Felt better there.
Good. Anything you can think about? How's it feeling for you? Talk to me.
Well, I mean, I feel like my leg is kind of going back, you know, a little bit.
Okay.
I am trying to keep the arm in close, you know, and extend inside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At the end of the swing, I kind of still feel like I'm
Chicken winging?
maybe bringing this one out.
Okay. Let's go grab something real quick. I mean, you're starting to get some good numbers there.
Yeah.
Still feel like you're chicken winging it over on the other
Maybe
side?
that one particular one, no, but
Okay.
I think the couple before that did feel like that.
Let's see how we're doing here, okay? Okay, knees getting back behind there, right? But
Yeah.
we don't need to create that lift,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. And the elbow's still way out.
Yeah, elbow's still way out. So let's do this real quick. Do we have a... well, we can always grab a towel out of this. Let's do the old towel drill. Okay. Just give me a couple swings of that underneath, okay? All right, just kind of... Yeah, so remember, this is just going to be like a little quarter swing, not even a half swing. Just trying to get a feel for where that right elbow needs to be driving down and through when we come. All right, so it's just supposed to be a tiny little mini swing. Good. All right, let's take a look. See, videotape this one. See how that right elbow's doing. flipping?
I felt like on that one, I was like, wow, it's kind of full.
Let's see how our elbow's doing here. Okay. Elbow's in a much better position where we
Yeah.
need it to kind of be a little bit, right?
Right. And I
Okay.
can't get it out there, yeah.
All right. But remember, you still feel it like you're kind of pushing at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to really feel like we're driving that elbow in front of our hip a little bit, then throwing the club away from us. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
So go ahead and set up again for me. Swing up to whatever the top of that swing is. Yep, correct. Good. Okay. Now we got to get that feeling, right? For you, it's kind of like we're going to start like this, right? Want to feel like this,
Yeah.
right? Boom, boom, right? Allowing that to drop on into the inside a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Keeping that elbow in front of that hip as we turn, right? Good, good, good. Okay. Right. Good. Just a little quarter swing, half swing. That's all we're trying to do here. Not trying to kill it, just trying to figure out, isolate that right elbow. There you go. Don't care where it went. Let's see how we did though.
Yeah, it's still kind of swinging, even with that little swing.
Mm-hmm. Still getting just a little stuck. You see how you got to kind of pull up right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he kind of creates some space a little bit. It looks like with when he's pushing up off the ground, because like I'm watching his feet, and he gets he creates a little space there where I'm just kind of flat-footed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not both feet. I mean, a little bit, but it's mostly his back foot. He comes up off of it.
Well, you got to remember,
he's shifting his weight, I think, better than I am.
yeah, JT's got a kind of unique move with that right foot a little bit. Not something I see a lot of, to be honest with you. I think that's just kind of him a little bit. But the big thing is that as I see him at impact compared to you, right? You see how he's really got that elbow tucked close to his side right there?
Yeah.
You can see here, as you start to come on in, that elbow's kind of getting out of the way, and then you start to rely on your wrists to start squaring it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like too how his knee kind of goes this way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's
Yep.
where mine is really kind of just stagnant right there. It doesn't, like his hips are moving towards it,
Mm-hmm.
his legs moving towards it, and so he's got kind of that. Yeah. It's more like that, you know. He's,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm kind of more like this. I'm just kind of playing it. So it's this knee collapses this way a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then this one kind of goes this way.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But on mine, I'm more like sticking it out this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I come through, I'm kind of just like flat-footed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to be, you know, and that's something, you know, you got to kind of work on, but you really got to be kind of dynamic, feeling like you're pushing off the ground, not just kind of swinging on top of it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I get a little bit of that, but where does he start that whole thing at? So it's on his backswing. He isn't done yet. Okay, so he's done.
Now he's shifting into his lead side.
Yeah. Let's see, yeah. So even if you say we're in the same spot, he's shifted all the way over where I'm just right like I started.
Correct.
Maybe sliding a little bit, but I'm just sliding back to where I was.
I think the big thing is, and this is what I would say right here, is that I think you're playing the 7-iron a little too far back, number one, right? If you take a look at your backswing here, look at you're trying to get behind the ball,
Yeah.
right? So you don't really get behind the ball, you kind of just lift up on top of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
right? So as you start to come through, you're like, I can't really shift forward, right? I've got to kind of keep my chest and everything there because you know if you shift forward, you're going to be topping it,
Yeah.
right? So everything kind of freezes, right? And then we just kind of make do with our arms and hands a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, like at the, let's say, bring my swing just till after impact. Yeah. My wrist is pointing down
Mm-hmm.
at the ground. His is parallel. So he's already starting to turn.
Yeah.
Where I don't do that till I get almost all the way to the top of my swing.
Correct. So you start to make that movement here, where you see JT has made that movement here,
Start there. Yeah.
right here at the lower part of the hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why, you know, one of the drills that we did or would do is if I put this little thing out in front of you, right, and told you to swing as hard as you can and try to stop,
Yeah.
right, your hands, your arms are going to release automatically and you get into that position.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if I continue to go through and have no feeling of stop or acceleration down there, then it's just kind of like this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what he's doing is from, once he gets right here, now he's almost bracing his whole body here to almost stop and allow his club head to go. Was that
Whip through, yeah.
correct? So he's going to post up, what we all talked about, post up, and then the club is going to accelerate past him, right? Boom, right? Now he's got that feeling like his body is kind of stopped here, but his arms are taking over,
Yeah.
right? It's not, but that's the illusion of, right? And then what happens is that his body stays in this frame as his hands really rapidly go past him,
Yeah.
right? And it almost has the feeling like if I got right here, okay, it's almost like I'm going to throw the club at the ball as hard as I can and then try to brace for the stop. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
And what it does is it gets us to accelerate the club at the bottom a little bit and it maintains that arm structure, right? Because if I go like this and I get right here and I go boom, look what happens to my hands automatically,
Yeah.
right? I don't have to worry about trying to get that. I just got to feel like if there's a wall right here, I've got to try to stop that club from going into it, right? But it's going to. Momentum's going to do that, right? But I've just got to brace my body for that impact to allow that club to pass me and get acceleration, right? And it's going to be, right? You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Right? I'm really getting here, okay? Once I get that in a good position, it's kind of just, you know, move my hands and forearms as quick as I can and get to that position. Right here is where I need to have, you know, at my finish, I'm right here. Okay?
Yeah.
For you, you're like this.
Yeah.
Just like you saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I can't fix it all at once, so.
No. No.
Let's, for sure, but.
All right, but if I kind of did this to you, so keep the towel on there. Okay, and let's see if we can get you a feeling here, right? I'm gonna put this right here.
Yeah.
I want you to give me that quarter swing and feel like you're gonna hit it, but you're gonna try to, yeah, you see what's happening to your forearms there? Good. Yeah. And what's your elbow doing? You feel it driving in front of you a little bit more now?
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Good. Yeah, there you go. Now, answer me this. From when you first started having that towel drill to now, are you feeling some significant differences with your swing as you come through now?
Yeah, and it's not, I'm not so conscious of it.
Okay,
you
okay,
know.
good.
Where before, it just kind of felt,
Restricting?
a little unusual or something, but
Gotcha.
just, it seems like now I'm not even really thinking about it.
Okay. But now I see with your release, what we're doing there, it seems like everything's kind of flowing through.
Yeah.
Like before, it was kind of like, where's the low point at,
Yeah.
right? Now it's just, you're not worried about that, right? Now you're releasing that club, and that low point will be automatic because we put that low point in our setup, right?
Okay.
That low point should be where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Now it's just swing the club
Yeah.
instead of trying to hit down on it or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, do it a couple more times for me, big guy. Okay. Half swing and feel like you're. Good. Good. Again. More times. Let's take a look. I like the turn a lot better. All right, I'm starting to see that elbow staying to that side a little bit better now, right? Let's see how our release is. Okay, getting better. Like to see a little bit more. All right, so I'd like to see that right forearm right about here taking over a little bit more.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, just a little bit. Okay, because you see how that right elbow starts to retract right here at this point? Or left elbow, I'm
Left
sorry.
elbow, yeah,
Starts to retract a little bit?
yeah.
Okay, so we want to try to get those hands to feel like they're really turning at this point right here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so up to the top, right, as we come through. Alright, good. I need to feel, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it almost feels like before we get to our hips on the other side that our arms have kind of crossed a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. You got the dog put up for tonight? For the trick-or-treaters?
We're gonna have to, yeah, with two little ones. Yeah, the mine thing, my mom's coming over and they're gonna, my wife and her will be passing out candy. I don't know if I think my dad's playing cards and I don't know, I'll be watching TV or something because I don't know that I'll be bothered by the whole thing, but.
You're not dressing up? I figured you were dressing up, man.
I'm not a big fan of Halloween. I think the whole origin of it is kind of not real cool, but just not one of my days that I really get into. I mean, when I was a kid, sure, because you're just getting a bunch of candy.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, I love the whole thing about it. I mean, you know, I just like the dark side of it a little bit, where it's different because every holiday is bright and happy and yada da da da. It's just nice to have a little change a little bit, you know. I love the movies that all come out. I love the frights and stuff. Now, would I want it on a daily basis? No.
Yeah.
No. But I think once a year is perfect. You get to dress up with whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
And you know, nobody can really get mad at you. You know, you can play out your fantasies for certain people. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I think people need that. Good. Okay. Good. Good little swing right there. I like that. Good job. There you go. That's what I like to see right there.
Yeah.
I know that's not as far as we like, but
But I mean,
see that nice
for the little
roll?
effort you put into it, you know,
Right.
I'm you losing 20 yards and I'm doing, you know, what feels like a half swing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit longer than what you think.
Yeah.
But the big thing is now you're starting to get a feel for that path and face and driving that elbow down in front of us, which is big.
Yeah.
Got to start doing that, buddy. That's big. All right, just a little late on the face rotation, right?
Yeah.
That forearm rotation just a little bit. Okay. There you go.
But yeah, when I, you know, give some little kudos to Dell because I know he watches my videos.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when he hits his irons good, you know, I know when he comes through, he's always, you know, his better shots. I can see his arms kind of going like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I always like it, and I know I've told you this probably a couple times, but I always love the image in my mind of the PGA logo guy,
Sure.
where he's got the arms out in front of him. You
Yeah.
know, I think
Yeah.
there's a real reason why, of all the images you could pick out of the game of golf, that's the
Yeah.
one they chose,
Sure.
right? So
Yeah.
I always like that visual for me.
Yeah.
A little quick there, right?
Yeah.
A little short, a little quick.
Still 44 out of that
Correct.
crappy shot.
Good job. Feel yourself rotating your forearms through that one?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Let's just take a quick gander right here. All right. Okay. Good job of shortening it up. I see that left arm's a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
Good. A little bit shorter though, right? Right, I was still getting out and away from us just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Rotation's starting to come a little bit. We've still got that elbow there,
Yeah.
right? So, got to get that feeling. Let's go ahead and set up real quick. All right, so I'm going to take the club out of your hand. Okay, go ahead and get into your setup for me. Good. So, what I want us to kind of do, go into your setup. Just kind of feel like you're set up, right? What I want us to do is to take a backswing, bring it on through for me, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to isolate this hand right here. And what I want you to do is I want you to feel like you're catching raindrops.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to feel like our palm is up. If I get your palm up, what's that one?
Over. Yeah.
Correct, right? What am I seeing?
Yeah. Like that.
And that allows that guy to bend.
And yeah.
Okay, but if I get him like that, there's no way that you're going to do this,
Yeah.
right? Because that. Okay, good. Do it again for me. There you go. Feel that club passing by you there?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. So you feel that what we're kind of talking about, allowing that club to kind of pass by you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to get our head involved in everything going this way. We want to get that thing driving down and through, feeling like I've got my head in that wall, and then boom, that's going to allow my arms to extend as long as I keep my chest and everything braced back behind it a little
Yeah.
bit, right?
Yeah.
But once I start to kind of move my head and everything, that elbow is going to get out and away a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. And then as you come through, yep, good. There you go. Okay. See how that works? Right? There's just that split second. Do it again. There you go. Good. Right, and with the club and momentum, it's going to keep you, getting you back over on your left side a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? There we go. Okay. Give me just a couple practice swings, give that a feel, right? There you go. There you go. Good. Catching raindrops on the other side, man. Feeling like we're catching raindrops with that left hand. Yeah,
Almost fell backwards a little bit there.
that's okay. Do we feel our arms extending past us though a little bit?
I mean, that's what I tried to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give it another shot here. There you go. Let's get a new ball. Go ahead. Set up for me. Okay. Stay right there. All right, go ahead and set up to it.
Still feel like that elbow's kicking out.
Okay. Just do it again. Okay. Go ahead, set up to that. There you go. Okay. Feel like your sternum is over that line for me. Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Now we're getting that ball a little bit up in our setup. Good. There you go. See how you got a lot more loft there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Feel like that ball is just ever so slightly uncomfortably up in our setup, right? Maybe just a half inch or something like that to start off with. There you go. Good. 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 Now I'm starting to like that ball flight. Ooh, sunrise. Just hit sunrise. There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Fine. Take a break for just a sec, big guy. Take a break for just a sec. Good.
Well, grab my phone real quick.
Yeah, go right ahead. What else you got on tap for today? Anything?
Well,
Doing any golf then,
I
or,
don't know if they're supposed to.
or is the maintenance
supposed
man
to
coming
test
on
me.
by?
No, should be good today. Yeah, I was got some guys that normally go out, and they said they were going to get together Friday, but I hadn't heard from them, so they might already have a foursome. I'm not sure. You know.
The elusive Friday game. You know how that is.
Well, my dad fell and
Oh.
hurt his back a little bit, so he wasn't able to play this week because he kind of wanted to just give it a little rest. And I think he's going fishing this morning. So
Where's he go fishing at?
all over the place, you know. I'm not sure. I think he's got to go up 4 towards Orlando. I know that. Because he doesn't, sometimes when he's coming back, he gets caught up in that 4 traffic.
Oh.
But I don't know. I went with him a couple times, but we went to different places. But he just likes the fresh water.
Okay, he's a freshwater kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he likes lakes and rivers and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just gotta kick this thing a little bit.
Yeah, Zephyr Hills used to have, this area used to have some pretty decent fishing. I mean, you had King Lake and you had, out there, you had those little areas and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
nowadays they've got houses everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, we used to go out to King Lake and fish all the time, and there was
Yeah.
nobody out there, and it was a great little short drive. You didn't have to worry about anything. But now
Yeah.
you've got homes all around it. And if you get near the water, get off my land, you're like,
Yeah.
it's water, dude.
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah, well, and he goes for crappie, and then he'll go for like catfish. Just whatever he can catch.
Do you ever go down to the Hillsborough River or anything like that?
I don't think so, but he just bought. It's a used boat, but I mean new for him.
Mm-hmm.
He just bought a new boat, so
Oh,
he hadn't even had it in the water yet. So I think this is going to be the first time he's
he's
actually
excited
taken
just
it
to
out.
get that thing
Just
wet,
get
isn't
it
he?
out,
Yeah, good
see
for
what
him.
See what it can do, right?
Good for him. Sounded pretty good right there.
Yeah, felt a little bit better.
Yeah, good. Go. Now you're starting to wear out the middle of the face. There you go. How's it feeling for you?
Yeah, well, it felt better. And I mean, honestly, it just feels like a half swing. I know it's not, but that's the feeling I get. I'm not trying to really overpower it or really do anything.
Right, getting rid of the
hero-
push,
yeah,
right?
the hero golf. It's just short, kind of packed.
I know that's the one thing I've always had to fight as a golfer is I like to get my arms up and too far back.
Yeah.
So every time I go for a lesson, it's always, to me, it's, got to get back to the idea of John Rahm, right? So it's really just, I feel like my hands are right here. They're probably a little bit further, right?
Yeah.
But, the big thing is I like to get here, and then I get this little move up at the top.
Yeah.
And it just, everything starts to break apart. So
Yeah.
for me, it just feels like it's really short and wide and coming through. There's a lot more speed to it, a lot better trajectory.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I feel uncomfortable with it. I feel tight and short and stuff like that. But I know if I feel that, I'm going to get a good strike. So
Yeah.
you get used to that once you start seeing them go down the middle.
Well, and I remind myself of it, and especially if I'm out on the range,
Mm-hmm.
I can see the results when I kind of just say, okay, I'm just gonna half swing it,
Yeah.
just nice, easy follow through. And we've all played with people who have a short backswing, at least from what, you know, when you look at them, you're like, oh, they got this short backswing, but still they get,
Yeah,
it goes.
absolutely.
You know? And then I still try to get way bigger.
Right.
even though I see it and even though I know it.
Right,
So
so
I
you-
constantly remind myself.
You
of
are
it.
shortening it here, so look, right here, right? But I like how we're keeping that left arm straightish,
Yeah.
right? The right elbow is more down than out, I think. I can't see it from this angle exactly. Right, but that elbow still, you're still kind of throwing that club a little bit early. Right, maintaining that lag, so.
Yeah.
So if you get up to the top, stop for me with your motion, right? If I just kind of do this, right, I gotta feel like I'm driving it down. There you go. Right, that's the feeling we gotta really work on right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So if I just get you right there, now look where you're at, right here. Your hands are in a good position.
Yeah.
Right, now you've got a chance to really unload those forearms and come through, right? Good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, that's just a foreign feel right now, isn't it?
A little bit. I think sometimes when I'm practicing something, I'll just take myself up to it
Mm-hmm.
and then just go from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just get into that position.
Good. I like that little pump drill.
Yeah.
Right,
Just to
little
get
pump
that
drill just to
feel.
get that elbow in there.
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm just looking at the practice swing here, right? That's a lot more where we. Right? See how we're keeping that lag right there?
Yeah.
That's really important, right? If we go back to, let's go with this guy. Right, you see how that shaft is already starting to be released a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas in this one, we can really see that elbow driving down. Look at that. That's where we want to kind of be.
Yeah.
That feeling, right? Still getting it out.
Still after, yeah. Right.
Right? Still getting a little bit of that chicken wing, right? But I think if we can really practice on getting that feel,
Yeah.
right, and just kind of keep working on it, it'll slowly start to come, right?
Yeah.
But that's a big thing for us, right? Is making sure that we get that elbow, stop doing this, and start driving down in front of us,
Yeah.
maintaining that lag or that angle for us, right? So when you get here, you got some pop on it,
Yeah.
right? And not getting that early release a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so just do a couple pump drills. Feel that elbow there. Yep. Yep. Don't care where the ball goes. Let's just kind of get a feel for that, okay? Good. 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 Is that your phone?
Yeah, it might just be somebody walking in front of my, yeah. That's, the ADT
Oh, somebody walked in front of your door?
in front of our house there, yeah. It's, my wife likes it out in the yard because there's some neighbors that like to walk their dog and leave us some presents.
There you go. How'd that one feel?
Yeah, it felt good.
Okay, that looked pretty short and compact right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job with the smash factor. Good job there. Okay. Yeah, I find that to be one of the most rude things in society is that you take your dog and you have it poop on somebody else's lawn. And you don't even clean it up.
I know.
You know, it just to me, I'm like, I'm more of the idea that if I have a dog, have some yard for the dog to
Yeah.
do stuff in
Yeah.
my yard. You
Right.
know, my job, my responsibility. But I see those people in those communities, and they're walking their dog. Dog does its thing, and they just keep on
Keep
walking.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, they didn't even. There wasn't even an attempt to kind of look around and dig in
No.
their pocket like they might have had something.
Yeah, right.
It's
Oh, I
just
forgot a
there you
bag.
go, Pooch. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like little doggy time.
I know.
There you go. Good swing.
Yeah. I like the height too. You know, I'm at least getting the.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to do.
Good. Now you're starting to get it back. Here we go.
Yeah, that one doesn't feel as good. Yeah, 125. Yeah.
A little bit of an early release there,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
Try to hold that angle a little bit.
Yep, for
So
sure.
up to the top for me again. All right, good. Driving that thing down. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Pump, 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 and then release on the other side. Okay, a little better. Take a little bit of a quick tempo on that one, just a little bit. I think that's to be normal. Yeah,
Good one before that.
yeah, a little early release on that one, right? Right elbow, right? See that
Yeah.
elbow getting back out in the way?
Getting lazy on it. Yep.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's take a few down the line here before we break for the day. But let's take a look down the line.
Felt better.
I'm about to say that looked better.
Yeah, felt better.
Much better job with the right elbow. Not so much poking out. Okay, getting better. Okay, but that's where this is the big part we got to kind of isolate, right? Watch as you kind of go, that right elbow just kind of stays down, right? Where we can see this guy. Right, you see how he's keeping those hands back, keeping that form right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
coming up to the top a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got to have a little moment of transition here. I like that you're getting your arms up a little bit. At least they're about up to your shoulders, right? And I'm starting to see a little bit of that pyramid right there, right? But the feeling is, right, as far as what we see with JT, right? He gets here, and then you can see that he's setting into his lower body, allowing that club to start dropping naturally, right? We're not trying to push it down or anything like that. Gravity's going to do what it needs to do for us. We don't need to help it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Just allow the arms to drop. We don't need to force them down.
Yeah.
You just need to work on that lower body shifting into the side. The arms start to come naturally,
Yeah.
right? We don't need to get on up over here and then feel like I gotta
Throw it down.
throw it down, right? It's
Yeah.
just gotta be here. Let your arms feel more passive.
Yeah, quiet the arms. I've
Okay.
heard that before. Yeah.
Doggy diamonds. All right, do it a couple more times here and then we'll go over what we worked on today, okay? But allow those arms to feel like they're just kind of dropping out of the tree, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go. That had some
Yeah.
turn and burn to it right there. I like that.
All right, let's end on that one.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'd like to end on a high note.
All right. I think you did a really good job of keeping that one short for us. Oh, this was down the line, so that's even better.
Yeah, still gonna let it. Still gonna chicken wing it. Can already tell.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Big thing is you kind of see how your hands are really high above where you kind of started at right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a typically an over the top move. All right, but if we kind of look at JT here, let's see where his hands get. A little bit closer maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely going to be above, right? But the big thing is you can see his hips are kind of turning out of the way here, right? He's keeping a little bit more of his lateral side bend, okay, as he comes through. Now, obviously, he's a high professional athlete. He can do those things, right? But just some of the things I see here a little bit.
Yeah, my hips have stopped.
Yeah, your hips have stopped, your chest has stopped, right?
Yeah.
Everything's kind of making way for these arms to
For the
pass a
arms,
little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Right? Let's kind of see if we're doing any early extension here a little bit as well. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to try to keep those hips back a little bit. Okay. But big thing for today, right? Big thing that we're trying to work on today. One, keeping our left arm straightish, right? Getting our arm structure up a little bit higher, not so far flat where our elbow can get stuck behind us a little bit.
Yeah.
Another thing that we kind of worked on, right, was getting that lead knee to actually drift back. As a kid, we were always kind of taught kind of the idea of getting our kneecap in line with the ball,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Okay, so not that I think it actually does. I think it was more just kind of a filler,
In that direction.
right? But it was kind of the idea this knee needs to be kind of over the ball or back behind it.
Yeah.
Okay? What we see with you in the video is that it's kind of like one of these. This knee kind of goes out this way, so it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Right? So you get kind of this wonky kind of turn a little bit. We never really get our knee back behind us, so we get kind of this lateral slide to kind of go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So allow that lead knee, right, kind of work on it a little bit. Kind of feel like it's getting back behind your ankle bone, right? Okay, just inside your foot. Okay, that's going to allow that hip to turn back the way that we need it to.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the big thing that we've got to kind of work on here a little bit is that transition, right? Transition is not going to be so perfect if I have my arms really flat. Okay, so transition comes from me getting my arms up and allowing me to kind of do this, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not one of those things that I get here and then it's kind of like, and that's what you're kind of doing. You're kind of just throwing it back behind you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we want to kind of feel like I get that arm structure up, and then as I start to move into this lead side right here, you see my arms drop down naturally. Now I can really feel like I'm running those down the table. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't want to get here, right, and then have my start be at the top, and I go, Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's got to feel like I transition, and then it's a very odd feeling. It takes time to get that feeling, but it's got to have that feeling like the arms kind of fall.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not trying to push them at this point. I'm just allowing them to do what they need to do, and then when I get those hands to about hip high, then I'm really trying to rotate and turn through. Does that make sense? But I don't want to try to get up over here to hit the ball. I want to allow them to drop, and it takes patience and time.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think if you allow yourself to do that, we're going to allow that right elbow to get in a much better position where we can kind of turn. But right now, it's kind of like you kind of get everything kind of going like this, and then kind of stop to allow those things, then chicken wing on the other side.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Okay. Big thing I would do, and it's not exciting. Nobody really likes to do it, but I would do that pump drill, right? Pump, pump,
Yeah.
pump. Just, little quarter swings. Just work on that elbow, getting that elbow to you. The other thing you can always do, get your right arm out in front of you, take your left arm, hook it around just as so. Boom, there's the top of your backswing.
Yeah.
Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that arm right here as a guard. And now you can see I get a little bit more of that lateral side bend that you were talking about, because I got to keep my elbow in that position. But once I kind of do this, I can stand up out of the way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
So get that arm hooked in there just like this, and then try to feel like you're keeping that in there, right? Boom. And that's going to help get that hip turning out of the way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions about today?
No. I think the other thing too is